Ranger, you want to do some art today? Yeah. Look at me being on YouTube. Okay. Hi guys. So today we're going to talk about to-go kits, plein air, painting outside, all those fancy things. We're going to go through my kit, which is here. Very simple. I have worked on this for 2 years, maybe more than 2 years, a little bit more, maybe. When I started teaching, I needed a way to bring a little kit to school. So in my between times, I would paint outside by the little preserve and just have some teacher alone time to replenish my brain and my creativity. And so I would use my to-go kit for my fun painting time between classes. And it's had a lot of shifts here and there. It's gone through a lot of metamorphoses, like a little butterfly. I think I've got it pegged, and then I'm like, oh, but I want to add this or I want to add that. So the big thing is it was getting too big. So I just pared down quite a bit because I wanted to add something and I wasn't sure how to do it. So anyway, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna go in the overhead and I'm gonna lay it all out while we still got some beautiful sunlight, and you're gonna see all the fun stuff. So I hope this inspires you to make your own. Okay, talk to you soon. Because I guess I'm hanging up the phone. I don't know. See you in a sec. Let's clean this off a little bit first. I made a big mess because I wanted to do some swatching with you guys, and then my dogs wouldn't stop barking. So we're gonna try that again another day. Let's do this. Okay, so first things first, we're going to talk about sketching materials. I have 2 pencils that I use, the Pentel Graphite, I don't know what this is called. Anyways, it's a heavy pencil. It's a drafting pencil. I love this pencil. I have 3 of them just because I have one that I keep in the studio, and then one that I take with me everywhere, and then one in case I lose one of those. This is my favorite pencil at the moment for sketching. This is another kind of sketching pencil that I use. It's got the thicker lead, the 2.0, that you kind of sharpen the lead with these tiny little sharpeners. The next thing is my ink pens. I have a liner, which is the good old Micron, which we all know and love. Very thin, 0.03, and that's the one I prefer. These are my new favorite. I have been using these for everything. They are by Zebra, and they have a lot of ink that comes out, so that it has to dry, and then you can lay water down. Or what I do is I wait until the very end, and then I line in these, or I do my script. They have a flexible nib, and I did, like, I'm kind of drawing on this here. I haven't done the highlights on this yet, and you'll see in my, this is how I draw on those, and it's just super, it's stiff enough that I have control, but it's, when I press, I can get that nice line. This one's my detail one. It's smaller. This is my favorite. I have drawn, I use it for this kind of thing, just outlining, creating that. variance in line effect. And yeah, that's really fun for me. And then, so those are those. Highly recommend. Links in the description, by the way, for all these things. Then I have my other pencils, what I would call them, for different things. This is an Inktense Bark. It's my favorite sketching pencil for when I'm going to do some kind of a sketch in my sketchbook that I just want to feel like free about, or if I'm going to do trees. I love using this. It's the perfect color. Let's see, I might have, I think I drew this, maybe not. I had a sketchbook just like this that got stolen, and it was almost done. I had 2 pages left in it. And one of my students got sticky fingers and decided she wanted it. This was one I did with the zebra pen while my son was playing rugby. Very fun. But anyway, oh, I know. Here's one. I was just working on it the other day. This was a plein air session I did with the kids at the museum. And you can see it has a purpley, I really love the depth of it. It's for my shadows. Here, you can see it better. It's for my shadows. You can see that I can create the texture and give it, I love this pencil. Bark, Inktense. If you don't have any Inktense, just open stock, Bark. I have 2 of them, just in case. Then I have my Mars Black Graphite, which is matte. I don't always like the sheen of the pencils, but this also creates a very strong, definitive line. Harder to erase, but I'm not really worried about that. This is for a striking line similar to a charcoal, but I have more control over this. These are great pencils. I've had several packs of these in the past. I used to do strictly charcoal and graphite art, and these became one of my favorites because they're great. They're better for scanning in and taking pictures, and also they get that nice black, and then the not as messy as our beautiful General's charcoal, which I have so many. These are my brand new colored pencil adventure accoutrements that I have been investing in here and there. And I'm just now starting to incorporate colored pencils into my artwork more. I was strictly watercolor and pencil, and now I'm like getting really into colored pencils, Derwent drawing pencils. You just can't beat these, especially if you do nature drawing or anything, that landscape, whatever. You're looking at some perfect shades for those. Not expensive either. Small set, you get everything you need. In fact, I would just buy like maybe 5 or 6 in open stock if you want to try them. And Blick is having a Derwent sale at the moment, as is Jackson's. So those are my drawing implements. To go with my drawing implements, oh wait, I forgot my Signo Micron pen for, is it Micron? Uniball Signo. Yeah, that's what it is. Sorry. It is my white pen. I am not a fan of Jelly Roll. They don't tend to work for me. Maybe they just don't like me. I don't know. This is my alternative to Jelly Roll. Love these pens. They also come in gold and silver, and they work every time. I never have a problem with them. This is my Fix-It kit. Sharpener for my pencils, obviously an eraser. This is one of those sticky erasers. I highly recommend one of these, even if you just have to keep it better stored than I do. But you can always clean it. Ooh, look at that, fun. And it's great for fidget stuff. But these are all the like little things. So here's for my larger lead pencil to sharpen. This is my sharpener for regular pencils. And then this is, what is this, guys? Do you know what this is? Obviously, it's an eraser. Then I also have my Caran d'Ache Neocolor 1. This is a Neocolor 1. I broke it in half so that I could fit it in my little thingy. I don't even know what happened to the other side. I'm sure I put it somewhere very important and then proceeded to forget. But there it is. And I love this for just getting some white on top and doing fun burnishing and stuff if that is needed. Okay, so another little thing, I keep washi tape. I never use it, but I have it and it's small, so it's not a big deal. Water. I have 2 water choices. I have this tiny pop camping cup for hiking and stuff like that off Amazon. I think it was $3. I have this from Jackson's. I think it was $5. Just I want to get another one of these that's actually got the 2. And I'll show you how I clip these onto my board that I made when I am painting. Okay, next up. Oh, and this is my smudger. And I forgot, you guys, my favorite eraser. I hardly ever use the big eraser, by the way. I use this one if I'm using an eraser, because I've been trying to learn to draw with my colored pencils and not erase. It's going okay. This is my Mono Zero Tombow, and it is great. I've had several of these. Refills are inexpensive. Just a great all-around eraser. Lasts forever. Highly recommend. These are my watercolor brushes. Oh, this is the fun part. We're getting into the fun part, but we're not ready for these. First, I have to do this. This is my tiny little water spray bottle to wet my watercolors. Oh, isn't it cute? It's so little. It's so little. Anyway, I love it. It fits perfect in my little pack. Sketchbooks. Okay, these are my 2 sketchbooks that fit inside my my pocket to go art toolkit pocket thing. Sorry guys, I don't know what to call it, and I have no brain today. But these are the 2 that fit in there, and they're perfect size for just on the go sketching when you don't have a lot of time. So you just do what you can. This is a Stillman and Burn. This is my favorite sketchbook for nice sketching. I love Stillman and Burn. This is the Beta series. Just wonderful paper in that. Always very forgiving. Never had a problem with it. Been painting with Stillman and Burn for several years, and it's my favorite. I feel like I've used every single sketchbook known to man, and this one's my favorite so far. This is my Royal Talons, which I also love, but it's not my favorite just because it's not as flexible. This is my really quick sketchbook. When I just have a mood or a vision or a thought, I just want to sketch in here. I don't put too much effort into it. Like my daughter's wedding day, I was waiting for things to be needing to be done, and I got to sketch. So just stuff like that. But now I'm incorporating this larger one into my kit, which does not fit at all, but it goes in my purse. So, and when you get desperate, I've just really been enjoying this size. I've used this size sketchbook here and there, but I've never had one quite this hefty, which I really like. I know that's kind of counterintuitive. You want a light sketching stuff, but I really, really love this size. And so I've been enjoying doing spreads in here. So that's also now been added, especially because my colored pencils love this book. This is great for colored pencils. Watercolor, it does wrinkle a bit, but not too badly. Let me show you a mostly watercolor. I did a whole wash on this one, and once it's been closed long enough, it's a little wrinkly on the side, you can see there, but not that bad. This is acrylic and watercolor and pencil and watercolor and pencil. So you can see you can get you can do watercolor in that and it's okay. You just can't go crazy with the water. Okay, guys, the piece de resistance, which is French for the best part ever, are my little art toolkits. So, like I said, I have 3. This is where all the money went into these. I have a watercolor. I wouldn't take these at the same time, probably. This would be from a smaller kit. This is a gouache palette. This is my gouache. So let's look at these. So now for this one, like I said, I used to have both of these in there. I also have this one, and I had, oh my goodness, I'm going to embarrass myself now if I can find it. Well, I don't know where it went, but I had another one that melted. It had beautiful greens. I have 2 green palettes. This is one of them. That was one of them. It melted. I'm now not sure what happened to it. I probably gave it a funeral. I don't remember. Anyway, but it was more like this, but it was plastic and it melted. So I don't recommend doing that. I live in Florida. Things melt a lot here, including the people. So you have to be careful. Another reason I have glass for my water. So this is a green extra palette that I put in. These are my favorite Roman Schmalz greens. I love Roman Schmalz. For a while, that's all I painted with, was this beautiful, awesome, well-loved palette. This was my to-go palette. I used it at school. The kids loved it when I would paint with them, and they would get to dip their brushes into it because it's special adult grown-up paint. I've gotten replacements for all the ones that look like they've been dipped into quite a few times. We'll talk more about these palettes later, but it was my main palette for a very long time. And my greens from Roman Schmalz, I couldn't just put them away and not have them. This is my watercolor palette, the main one. I just redid it. It's still in process. I'm not a huge fan of how it is right now. I'm just going to try this for a good solid 6 months. And when that 6 months is up, I'll reevaluate and I'll probably take a lot of these out and limit myself even more. Okay, so that's that. This is my gouache palette, which is the main reason I got my little spray bottle so that I could spray them. I've been using this for about a year, maybe a little less than a year. It's mostly Daniel Smith and Winsor & Newton and Holbein. Just really enjoying this palette. I love the colors. I curated it, kind of experimenting, watching other artists, see what they put in their palette, and depending on what kind of art they make. And the Holbein, if you want to start to use gouache on the go, I would highly recommend just getting the Holbein tricolor gouache kit. It's perfect. This is the yellow, and then so it's just perfect. I don't feel like you would really need anything else except a white. They mix perfectly, but on the go, you want kind of more convenience. So that's why I have so many colors. Plus, I like having more colors. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I think we should pack it away. Put my ink, my pencils. This pencil I'm going to put in here, and as well as my liner, because I want to make room for my new adventure of colored pencils. So, and I do the rest. I decide day by day which colors I want to take, because I may be in a mood to be doing birds, I may be in a mood to be doing flowers, and that will dictate what colored pencils I put right here. But for now, I'm keeping a limited pencil palette. When I am going somewhere where I know I'll have more space, I take this, and it's a mess. And I'm still trying to figure out how to organize my pencils for on the go. And I need to probably get one of those roll things, those little pencil rolls or something. But for now, this is what I'm using. Okay, sketchbooks. I can fit one right here, and the other goes right here. And you can see they fit side by side just right. Now, this particular pouch from Art Toolkit is made to fit this size. When you buy it, it comes with a moleskin, which I have turned into my Totoro sketchbook. I'm not a huge fan of the moleskin, and I'm sad I made it my Totoro sketchbook. But there you have it. This fits in here. So I was thinking this bigger one might fit in here as well. The only problem is it makes it ridiculously heavy. So it does fit though. So Royal Talons, I forget if this is an A4 or an A5, but it's the 5x8 in inches. So that does fit tucked away in there if you want. Then those go there. I put my paints on top of the sketchbooks. This is my white Micron pen. No, not Micron, Rachel. Uniball. Okay. Then I have my, this size little tin fits perfect in here. This size fits perfect as well, but I am not taking this at the moment until I fill it with my Michael Harding. This would be my eraser thing, my greens, extra greens. And then I tuck my water in here and my other water. Normally I wrap it in some paper towel just to make sure it doesn't leak and then get all over everything. And sometimes it does leak, so it's supposed to be leak proof. I did find my ridiculous melted palette. I did find it. This is a wonderful company. This is not about the company. This company is great. They're a home business through Etsy. The problem is this is plastic and I live in Florida. So we will blame the Florida weather, but it has these two things and then you can fit the little, I went ahead and I jimmied it. Oh, see, these don't come out now. Hold on. I went ahead and I put a magnet down in here. That is a magnet for a business card. You can use a business card holder. I'm sure many of you have probably seen this if you've watched any of these to-go kit videos, but you can put a business card magnet in here, and then these little art toolkits fit great. It's a great little gift or for your own kit. This is what I used for the first 6 months, deciding if I even wanted to buy an art toolkit. So I recommend doing something like this before you invest in the art toolkit to see if you even like working in this style of palette. It's very different than, say, your standard travel palette of old. So very different. Lots more mixing space. Not so much mixing space. I do use this part of the palette to mix, and I use one usually of these. I do a green, and then I have the more purples, earthies, grays up here, but my greens and my yellows stay down here. Then I put my little water in here, tuck my little smudger, my baby pencil, and my eraser. Now, what we didn't talk about, which is almost criminal, is my travel brushes. I have 3 that I use mainly. One I've just added. This for my gouache. This is the beautiful star of the show, my all-around perfect brush, the Black Velvet 6 travel brush. Beautiful brush. Highly recommend investing in something like this if you are picky about your brushes. This is an all-around good brush. The 8 is also a good size. I prefer the 6 just for better water control. Then I have this Tintoretto. It is an Italian brand. They're usually sold with a Gallo, or they come in the A Gallo pallets that you get with your paints. And this is their 6 round. And I use that every once in a while. I don't use it very often, but I have it in here just in case. Or if I have a friend that needs a brush. Usually kids want to help paint with me and stuff. So this is a new brush that I just got. It looks a little familiar because it is not the same, but it is similar. And it costs about a third of the price, maybe less. $6, I think, is what I paid for this. I paid $35 for this, which was very hard to part with. But this is a brush that I found at a mom and pop art shop in Spokane, Washington. And you can order on their website. They're a wonderful little shop, very easy to work with. I've had to cancel things or add things to my order from Florida, and they are very quick and easy to work with, and just some great people. So they have these little travel brushes. They also specialize in travel sketching and stuff like that. But this is called a semi-art. Not sure how you pronounce that, but this is the 6, and I'll put a link in the description. In my opinion, this is a wonderful brush. And if I was going to say I would rather have 3 of these than 1 of these, I'd probably just get 3 of these for my to-go kit, because this I have in my studio in the regular non-to-go version, which was less expensive. And I do use it all the time, but this is also a good brush. And this brush actually worked much better with the gouache than the Black Velvet, not surprising. It's a little stiffer. Another option for you would be these kits that they sell on Amazon. I kind of took some of the brushes out of this and put different brushes in, but these are 2 of the brushes that came with it. And then I also tucked my gouache in here because everyone needs their zinc white. And so I have my white gouache. But then I also have, for my gouache palette, a larger round and a flat brush. So I thought that would be a good option to have as well. I haven't been actually putting these in my pack lately because I've been just doing so much pencil. I'm not using the gouache as much. I'm just experimenting, and I take things out, put things in. Like I said, this thing changes constantly. But I do think that is a good option as well. Very inexpensive, $20 for the entire set of 4. I'll put the link in the description. Great brushes, very user-friendly. So that's everything. Now, I would say this thing weighs, okay, I'm sorry, I don't have a scale to weigh it to tell you the exact weight. I would say it's 3 to 5 pounds. It's pretty hefty with all this paint and these 2 sketchbooks in it, but it's a lot lighter than it used to be. I'll just say that. I did take a lot out. I feel very proud of myself that I trimmed down so much, and I added some colored pencils. So yeah, so that's that. for my tray, I wanted to show you this. This is something I kind of came up with from watching other people's videos with things they've bought on Etsy. I just looked at like what was the mechanism of the item, how did it function. I've seen people use corrugated plastic sheets. I've seen people use clipboards. I've seen there's one lady who uses a nurse's clipboard. It's because it has the little, it's like a little box with a clip on the top. This is a cutting board. I got it at, I think it was one of those like TJ Maxx or one of those. And I got it in a stack of 3 for $10. And I made a tiny one. And I have this one. And then the other one I use as an actual cutting board. So I put some magnets on it. That will hold some of my paint. But then I figured out, oh, watch this. I have that. That's a magnet. And I can put my watercolor on that as well. So I can have 2 palettes here. And then I use this second one of these clips for my water. And it works perfect. It's a little cumbersome and heavy, I'll admit. It's not lightweight like the corrugated plastic ones, but it works great. I can move around and it's not going to jiggle too much. And I have my napkin. I have my testing color paper. I always have to have this. And that goes there. And I clip that on like so. Boom, boom. Now, you cannot clip your sketchbook to this, but I don't really worry about that. I don't want it all in one piece. I prefer to be able to have the freedom of turning my sketchbook different ways if I want to. I want to be able to turn it different ways if I want to. I don't really worry about clipping it on. So just as it goes, like, and this smaller one, perfect. It just fits just like a desk. This is my setup. I take all this in my bag for church and I sit there and paint and anyways, it's fun. So people give me weird looks, but I don't really care because I'm having fun. And then when I'm doing a memory sketch, I have this all in my bag usually. And you know, my poor husband, when he has to carry my bag, it's very heavy, but it's worth it. Yeah, so that's my basic art kit. You can tuck a pencil in here like that if you want to put your pencil there. I just usually set my brush down like this. I don't change brushes. I use the same brush for the whole thing. And so I don't need to have the little brush holder thing that some people have, which I think is super cool. You can also use a kneaded eraser right here and just kind of press this into it, and I think that would work fine. And then there you go. So I think we should try this out, possibly, and go on a little adventure, maybe. What do you guys think? I hope that inspired you to make your own kit. I really encourage it. Put in the comments what you cannot do without in your own kit, personally. I love ideas too. So anything that you saw that you were like, why did you do that? Feel free to like lecture me and give me better ideas, because my brain doesn't always work all that great. So this is, for now, it is still under development at the moment. And I kind of think I went on and on a lot about all the little pieces, and I thought, why am I talking so much about a pencil? But you know, I'm an artist. I love pencils. What can I say? So we're gonna just go paint something now. Now we have to go out into the world and paint. So I'm thinking a plein air session. What do you think? Next up? Yeah, little outdoor sketching, little video. We'll see. That might be hard, but I'm new to this, you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. So anything I do now, it's just an adventure. Let's go have one. Have a great day. God bless.